Pentagon blocks sharing evidence of possible Russian war crimes with Hague court.
Here's a summary of the article.
Still, by the end of the Bush administration, the State Department declared that the United States accepted the reality of the court and acknowledged that it enjoys a large body of international support. And the Obama administration took a step toward helping the court by offering rewards for the capture of fugitive warlords in Africa the court had indicted. In 2017, the top prosecutor for the court at the time tried to investigate the torture of terrorism detainees during the Bush administration as part of a larger look at the Afghanistan war. In response, the Trump administration imposed sanctions on court personnel, and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo denounced it as corrupt. Then Russia invaded Ukraine last year, prompting a bipartisan push to hold President Vladimir V Putin of Russia and others in his military chain of command to account, and setting off debates inside the administration and in Congress about whether and how to help the court. Continue reading. The main story. One was a standalone bill expanding the jurisdiction of American prosecutors to charge foreigners for war crimes committed abroad. The other, a provision about the International Criminal Court embedded in the large appropriations bill Congress passed in late December, received little attention at the time. While the U.S. government remains prohibited from providing funding and certain other aid to the court, Congress created an exception that allows it to assist with investigations and prosecutions of foreign nationals related to the situation in Ukraine, including to support victims and witnesses. Despite that legal change and Congress's signal of support, the Pentagon has stood firm that the United States should not help the International Criminal Court investigate Russians for their actions in Ukraine since Russia is not a party to the treaty that established the court.
This post received a score of 6,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Reminder to everyone, this is not new or news, the US has had this attitude for a long while. See American Service Members Protection Act, aka the Hague Invasion Act.
Greater than among those who supported the bill were Joe Biden, seeing as he is now the president. This makes a lot of sense.
Biden admin were the ones who tried to release the info. Pentagon blocked it.
This information is not at all shocking given that the same nation has plans to invade The Hague in the event that any American military personnel are charged with a crime. That's a misnomer. There are no plans. The bill just says they can do anything to protect their people. It's like saying the US has plans to nuke Canada if they launched a decapitation strike on our leaders simply because the US has said if a country does that, nukes are on the table.
How did you find out about that? We entrusted it to our top caribou.
You should probably stop trusting the caribou. I am caribou and trust me, you can trust us.
Plays in Indy.
As an American, let me say this as clearly as I can, #good. #prosecute all American war criminals. The double standard, the hypocrisy, the stain on our national honor and ethical integrity of continuing to allow it, to treat ourselves as inscrutable, to continue to allow this conduct with impunity weakens us and invites the authoritarians and terrorists and other brutal people of the world to excuse their actions and discredit any effort to combat them by the comparison.
As a combat vet, we need to be held accountable as well. It's not a stain on the military as a whole to us, it's an act perpetrated by those that do it. If we want to be leaders of the free world, we need to be held accountable like we hold everyone else.
The biggest thing to me is that literally everyone else is on board. The intelligence community is cool with us sharing it, as well as the State Department and DOJ. It's just the Pentagon that's afraid their soldiers and leaders might be prosecuted for war crimes someday.
Exactly. The fucking CIA is on board with this. Come on, guys.
Actually, the CIA being on board with it should be a moment of reflection. Then we should do it anyways.
Why should the Kia care the USA has a Hague invasion bill on the books?
The invasion bill exists because someone may be tried. The intelligence community are advocates for the change of the current relationship with the ICC. This would allow them to out criminals to the ICC and have them dealt with as they see fit, but are currently unable to do so.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.